alone, but I got some familiar faces here in the studio. Joining us today is Mississippi Department of Rehab's Executive Director, Mr. Chris Howard, along with Project Search expert, as I've been told, but better known as Director, Faye Culpepper. And man, August is a big month for you guys over at Department of Rehab and Project Search. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right, Faye, I'm going to kick it off with you because Project Search, it's like back to school for everybody else. It's back to school for Project Search, and y'all are up to some good things. So give us a little background. Tell us about Project Search.
Okay, so Project Search actually started in 1996 at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. There was a director of emergency services, Erin Riley. She noticed that they were serving people with disabilities, but they were not employing people with disabilities. So she thought, surely there's a program that we can put together that can train them in the entry-level jobs, like stocking, cleaning, those kind of things. So she got together with the Special Education Department of Cincinnati, and they developed Project Search. So, of course, it's grown since 1996. We're in 48 states. We're in 10 different countries, and we've got now currently 672 programs up and running. Mississippi actually joined in 2017, 2018. We started out with the University of Mississippi Medical Center with Rankin
I think y'all came on good things, Chris, when y'all first launched this back then. And man, y'all have grown since then here in Mississippi.
Yes, we have. We currently this year, we've started up with 18 programs. We have 15 healthcare. We have 2 Air Force bases, Keystone Air Force Base and Columbus Air Force Base. And then we also are in our second year at Viking Range in Greenwood.
So this is exciting. Okay, so this is partnering the business sector along with education. So what is the age range for the students at Project Search? And is it correct to call them students?
Well, there are students, but then they become interns. So they, it's 18 to 21. There's 3 different programs. There's the transition program, which is 18 to 21, and they are still under the school. And then you have a hybrid program, which you can have students or interns that are in school and out of school, and then we can have adult programs. But it's 18 to 21 is the transition, and that's what we're focusing on right now is the transition age.
Yes. And Chris, I was going to say this feels like a perfect fit for Mississippi Department of Rehab. In fact, if I didn't know you didn't create it, I'd have thought that you that you guys did. So 5 years ago, how did this partnership, or I guess, are they under you guys? Are y'all partnering together? How does Department of Rehab work with Project Search?
Yeah, so we administer the program. So the Mississippi Department of Rehab Services is responsible for the administration of the program. But, we partner with the school district and an employer. So, as great as this program is, as excited as we are about it, it can't work unless we have a great school partner and a great employer partner. So, what Faye's talking about, the 18 employers, the combinations we've got going on right now is really a cool thing around the state for these, these young adults to get an internship opportunity. Instead of going to school their last year, they're actually going to this host employer site, and that is their last year of school. They're doing these internships. They're learning the hard skills of a job that are transferable to other jobs, for example, but they're also learning soft skills too, working with the public, working with peers, taking direction, just things like that. But it's just, I'm getting chill bumps talking about it because I absolutely love this program, but it's such a great opportunity for young adults to gain that valuable work experience and get ready for life after high school.
And I know it's a saving grace for parents with students starting to age out with disabilities because they wonder, not all are able to transition the same. And so they want the same things for their students as everybody does, is the opportunity to have a job or, get new skills. And so I'm sure parents everywhere are excited about Project Search as well. Faye, how many stay in their jobs where they intern? Is that part of it, or is it just learning those skills and then connecting with jobs elsewhere?
Well, the host business is not obligated to hire our individuals. We want them to. We want them to get the best. But they're just our training site, although we want them to hire. I would say probably more than half actually get hired on at the host business. I mean, you have 9 months of someone there learning your job, so why would you not want to train them to be your employee that you want? So it's a win-win. And so we tell the families, that the host business is just our training site. This is where they're learning those skills, those marketable, transferable skills to go out and have. We talk about a job, but we want it to be their career because that's what we go, to college for. Or we go do internships because we want to look for a career, not just a job. And so we have 6 right now at UMC starting their 5th year of employment. So
That's
I think
crazy.
it says a lot, yeah.
That does say a lot. And two, so how many students will start this August? I know you mentioned the 18 different sites for Project Search. How many students in total will that be?
We have right now, we have 95 that's starting up. And some of that is, the healthcare, they mandate the vaccination. And so that kind of, some of the families are like, not real sure about it. So that's kind of,
that's a lot,
it
95.
is.
Yeah.
But our goal is for, next year to double. We can have up to 15. And the way that works is the school provides the instructor, which is like a teacher. And so then MDRS provides 2 job skills trainers that work along with that instructor. So they're there the whole time the interns are there. So teaching them to make, those job skills, making sure that they're doing what the employer wants them to do. And so, they're not in there just to learn a specific job. They're in there to learn as many skills as possible, so they can go on to their career job or their dream job. And so it's just a even looking at the interns themselves, so Chris has talked about this before, they come in with no purpose, like they don't know what they want to do. Their self-esteem is down, their confidence is down, and so what we do in the beginning is we do these interviews and assessments to kind of see what they're good at, and because we want to put them in an internship that they're going to succeed to build that confidence, and then you just see them blossom from there. But Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, as we travel around the state and talk to parents, the biggest fear of a parent with a child with a disability is what's going to happen to my child when I pass on. Mm-hmm. So, through this Project Search program, we're able to work with these young adults. And excitingly, this year, we're going to have nearly 100 young adults, and we're going to teach them those valuable work skills that hopefully they'll get hired at that job site, or if not, these skills are transferable to where we can help them find a job somewhere else. So,
and that's what you guys do on a daily basis for a wide range of people. I go back to now and thinking it's all coming back to me now. What's the song? Where UMNC was here on Good Things to talk about the Project Search coming to Mississippi, and remembering they stepped up to say, hey, look, we'll show that this works. We'll sort of work out the kinks. We'll sort of figure it out. It's really cool to see over the last 5 years you've now have 18 different sites. Is it true, Chris, when one shows that it can work and that it can be a good partnership, then other businesses are like, well, why aren't we doing this too?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, this past year we had 13 sites. This year we've got 18. So we grew 5 sites in a year. And, we're continually trying to grow them. And you'll be surprised how many times we get invited to come speak at different events, different school events. Sometimes Mississippi Manufacturers Association, we've been there before, but, talking to different employers, talking to different school districts about this opportunity. And like you said, as you continue to grow it, more people start talking about it. And it's really a win-win-win.
What's the most reluctant reason that an employer might be like, I'm not sure about hiring someone with disabilities or connecting with Project Search, that they then see after they can see that it works? What's their biggest, what do you think is the biggest myth?
What we hear from employers, the biggest fear is, one, can they do the job? Are they going to be reliable? Are they going to be able to perform the job tasks? And unfortunately, too, a lot of people are worried about, am I going to get sued, if I hired a person with a disability? So, our business development department works really hard to meet with the employers on that. And again, through Project Search, we're creating these internships where these young adults are actually proving themselves. They're showing, say, hey, I can do this job. And if you're an employer out there listening, you would not believe the synergy that happens in these departments, to talk to some of the workers in these different areas. We put these interns, to hear them talk about how they've just all gathered around that young adult, and it just truly changes the look of that department.
Oh, I totally agree. And it just brings joy. It brings like a breath of fresh air. And it's all the things that you sort of need. But it also shows that you want to be connected with an organization that's also willing to invest in people of all abilities and recognize the worth and value there. You mentioned task or different internship skills. What are some of those, Faye, that are maybe the most common?
Well, I think what we go into a host site to help departments think about that same thing. We talk about your unmet needs. Like, what are things that you have to stop and do that has to be done but then it takes away from your job. So it's unmet needs.
And we'll pause right there because
okay.
that's perfect. And we will catch back up with Project Search coming up next here on Good Things. But if you go over to supertalktv.com, you'll see we still have with us Mississippi Department of Rehab's Executive Director Chris Howard, along with Project Search Director Faye Culpepper. And I'd set you up for a hard question, not hard, but longer answer right at the break about Project Search. And I wanted to know about maybe a specific sort of job placements or sort of skills that your interns do learn that may, help maybe a potential employer to hear and say, yes, I have that slot, those type of skills open.
Okay, so I can give you an example. Like one of the hospitals wanted to, their rehab department wanted a rehab. They wanted an intern, but they was not sure how to really create a job description. So they didn't have a rehab tech. So they thought, well, those little things like making sure the equipment's clean, the towels are wash folded, put up, bringing in the patients in and out, making sure that the ice packs and stuff are stocked. That was a good job description. So that's pretty much how they had the intern come in. And so from that, they realized that they were able to see more patients because they didn't have to take that time off from seeing patients to do that stuff that needed to be done. So come to find out, that actually created a job for this young man. So after Project Search, he is now the rehab tech at this hospital for that department.
And it goes back to say a lot of your interns that graduated to become full-time employers or part-time or however it worked for that individual, they're there 5, 6, 7 years, and those are usually the positions that you see big turnover and all of that. And Chris, I know at the Department of Rehab, that's one of the things you guys really boast to employers is the fact that you want a committed, loyal, employee. Go this route. I mean, look for ways to hire those with disabilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talk about all the time is how much loyal an individual with a disability is in the workplace and, say, a person without a disability. And as an employer, you think about all the money you spend training, getting a person ready to be efficient in a job. And, when you do that with an individual with a disability, they're going to be loyal and they're going to be there. And, we're talking about Project Search. And, one of the things I always love when I go visit a site is just how excited these young adults are. You think about in your work area, sometimes you come in and people are like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm tired. I had a big weekend. But
I'd never do that.
Yeah, me neither. But these kids, I mean, man, they're excited. They're glad to be there. They're smiling. They're working hard. And it just really changes the whole atmosphere. My position changed. I mean, my thought is it changed the whole atmosphere of the job site.
Faye, you were talking about 18 to 21 or 18 to 24.
18 to 21.
21 is sort of that target age. We've kind of been saying employers, but what about the families who have kids that, or I guess young adults that meet that standard, or maybe they're coming in, they're 17 or 18, looking that way. How can they, sort of get in touch with Project Search or get involved? Maybe they've never heard about it before today.
Well, of course, I always call the Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation Services. That's where that's where our office is. But also within their schools, their SPED directors. We try to get the word out. We work really close with the schools, like he said. And so this year we're going to be working really close because our big thing is recruitment. We really want to recruit this year and get these students, give these students an opportunity to try out for Project Search.
What is some of the parents' biggest questions about the program in terms of, is it a good fit? You're taking them out of their normal routine, out of I guess, school for 9 months. Are they missing out? I mean, what are some of the concerns for parents when it comes to Project Search that you could help dispel?
Yeah, I think the only concern would be the hospital. Just people think, oh, going to a hospital, everybody's sick. That's really been their only concern. Now, the opportunity is brighten their eyes, their future. They finally have something that their son or daughter would have a purpose. They're all excited about it. It's more so convincing the teachers to let them go. I've had Faye for 5 years. I want to see her graduate. So and that's
Do they have to sign off on it? Do they have to make that decision? Do the teachers work with the family to make that decision?
No, but a lot of times. A lot of times students they're in special education, they have the same teacher for 4 or 5 years. And so that becomes family to that teacher. And they want the best for that student, absolutely. And so a lot of times it's really selling the teacher more so the family. The family's thinking, thank you, because we had no idea what we were going to do when he graduated from school. like what's out there. You'd be surprised how many people do not know about MDRS. And it's not just Project Search. We have all kinds of services available. Not everybody's for Project Search. I think they are. But
well, what if you're 35?
Yeah, we can do that. The thing is, and that was one thing that MDRS was looking for, because our outcomes were so low, especially with working with individuals with most significant disabilities. Our outcomes were really, really low, and so this is a way to give them opportunities to, like he said, build confidence, find something that they're really good at, and then put them in a job that has those skills.
Yeah.
The term disability has a big umbrella term, Chris. When we're talking about maybe a good fit for Project Search, I mean, what would be some that would fall under that?
I'm about to defer to Faye on that one,
Faye.
but but looking at our agency, our agency says basically a disability is any impairment to employment. So everyone recognizes, say, a person with a prosthetic or in a wheelchair, or who's blind or who's deaf. But it may be ADHD, it may be anxiety, it may be PTSD. There are different other situations a person's going through that may be an impairment to them reaching employment. So, we can serve a lot of individuals to help them reach those employment goals. But to answer your question, I'm going to turn it over to the expert.
I think it's we serve all disabilities. And I think it's one is that they have the desire to go to work. Okay. And that they have desire to go to work. They have good family support, and then can eventually work on their own. VOC Rehab or Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation Services, our goal is to help them find a job, but eventually we're going to have to close that case. So what we focus on is making sure we have the right job for the right person. I believe everybody that can work that wants to work. I think it's just finding what they're really good at and then developing that job from there.
I like, though, hearing the different types of disabilities that sort of fit, because I feel like sometimes you think, well, if I don't, if it's not Down syndrome, or it's not just in a wheelchair, if it's not just, then maybe, my child or myself or my loved one doesn't fit necessarily in with that. But it feels like there's more opportunities out there for more people. They just don't realize that maybe they fall under the umbrella of who would be a good fit for this. Miss Faye, you're a perfect fit for this. When he said you're an expert of Project Search, he wasn't joking. How did you find your way to this program, or did the program find its way to you?
Oh man, I'm not going to tell my age, but I was with Department of Mental Health for 27 years working in employment services, more so supportive employment. And when I talk about supportive employment, that's working with individuals with most significant disabilities. And so I was able to join Mississippi Department of Rehab Services about 7 years ago, still working with supportive employment, but being a program coordinator where I worked with all the counselors in the state of Mississippi for supportive employment. Again, the frustration was the outcomes. Like, we can go and think we know what Faye can do, provide that support, have the employer do all the paperwork, and that's the frustrating part, is when you do a lot of HR paperwork and then it doesn't work out. So then you kind of, the employer's kind of stung a little bit, and I'm not so sure I want to trust them again. But a lot of that was because we just really didn't know what that person could do. And so Project Search has that time that we really get to know what that person can do. What are their abilities, not their disabilities? So we focus on what they're good at and their strengths. And, when they're in school, they can stay till they're 21, but 18, man, their peers are going off to college. Who wants to go back and sit in a classroom? And I'm not knocking school by no means. It's a great thing.
I agree.
But this gives them, I'm going to do my internship. I'm going to, have a productive life. I know Chris wants to, this is his favorite part, so you go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, one of the things I love is not only are we teaching hard skills, but we're teaching soft skills too. I don't know if all the sites do it, but a couple I've been to, they actually, they had the kids watching some news shows. And, the question came up, why are you having these young adults watching news shows? And they called it elevator talk. So not only are they teaching these young adults a job skill, but they're teaching them how to communicate with the public, So, if they're sitting in the elevator and they say, hey, what do you think about gas prices right now? Well, they may have just seen it on Fox News or CNN or SuperTalk or whatever. Yeah. So, to be able to teach these young adults not only the valuable work skills, but the social skills as well, is, again, why we love this program. And I'm telling you, Faye's perfect for this position. I brag on her all the time, and she's got the heart and the passion. And I tell her this all the time. You know, the joke was when we first started this program, she's like, how many sites do you want? And I said, aren't there 82 counties? Can we not have one in every county?
Oh, I think we'll get there for sure. And also getting them employment gets them to be able to better use Able to Save Month, which I know is a big thing, too. You guys are also passionate about. So we're going to continue with Mississippi Department of Rehab and Project Search coming up next here on Good Things. Over at SuperTalkTV.com, you'll see we're continuing our conversation with Mississippi Department of Rehab's Executive Director, Chris Howard, along with Project Search Director, Faye Culpepper. We've been learning about the great things they're doing in 18 different sites across the state, with the goal of one day being in all 82 counties. Do we know how many counties we are in right now, Faye, out of those 18 sites?
We're in, I would say close to 35.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're inching towards half.
What we did this year, we added school districts to our existing sites, and that's what we do every year. Is we usually start out with one school district to begin a new site, and then we add school districts. So, we're going to hit that 82.
You're going to hit that 82, absolutely.
That's a challenge.
Set the bar high. I feel like, Faye, you will rise to it. You wanted to make sure, though, that before we moved on from Project Search, that we talked about the curriculum for the partnerships.
Yes. So Project Search National provides a curriculum that the instructor, which is usually a teacher, provides. And so the first 3 weeks, we run on a school calendar year, so it starts in August, ends in May. So the first 3 weeks, they're in the instructional room, working on team building, workplace safety, technology, self-advocacy, maintaining employment, financial literacy, health and wellness, preparing for employment, and social and communication skills. And so also navigating around the hospital. So if you think of UMMC, you know how big UMMC is. They can navigate around that hospital with no problem. A lot of our interns get jobs in the ambassador services, where if you go in for a test, they take you to that department and bring you back. Or if you're exiting from the hospital,
so helpful.
Exactly, and they bring you, to the parking lot to meet your family, and so that's navigation. I mean, that's huge. But they spend those 3 weeks, beginning, and then once they start their internship, they go in the mornings for like 45 minutes to prepare for the day. Then they go in their internship for 4 hours, and then they come back and kind of debrief. How'd your day go? What are you doing? What are you learning? What do you got to work on? And so that's for 10 weeks. And then they take a transition week, and then they start the next 10 weeks, and then they take a transition week. And then the third internship, we are looking for employment. We want everybody to graduate from Project Search with a job. We talk about 70 or 80%. We're going 100% this year. That's going to be our goal, 100% of employment. So nobody leaves from graduation without a job.
I love that. I love that. And I feel like, you're welcome back here in 30 weeks to tell us all about reaching the 100%, because I just think it's good to continue to bring up that awareness, and it's also good to talk about all the other great benefits that the Department of Rehab has, like the Able to Save, which August is that particular month. This has been huge. I mean, and I feel like more folks need to know about it. So share with us about this project.
Yes, this is another program we were really excited about, and it's called Mississippi Able, and it started back, I think it was 2017, 2018. We do it with a partnership with the Mississippi State Treasurer's Office. But when you look at this program, what it does is it allows for individuals with a disability to save for the future. So this is a savings program for folks with disabilities. And the thing is, they don't have to be worried, am I going to lose my benefits if I have too much money in this account? So, if you've got a listener out there and they're on Medicaid, well, Medicaid says you can't have more than $4,000 in assets or they cut your Medicaid off. So, through Mississippi Able, you can put, I think it's like $15,000 a year with a maximum balance of about $250,000. So you can actually save for the future, save for that leaky roof, save for that piece of technology or whatever you may need.
Transportation.
But you can put money back and save for it and not be concerned, am I going to lose these important public benefits if that account gets too high?
Which you would think that is ever even a roadblock for people with disabilities to go on and try to find employment or to take those next steps, or thinking back to the parents who have children with disabilities, that being a fear for them as they transition on. So, I feel like this it made sense. So, it's like, why haven't we? But I know y'all have something going on too. The first 20 to sign up for accounts this month, they get a bonus, huh?
Yeah. So again, this is Able to Save Month. MississippiAble.com is where you can go to sign up for an account. And the first 20 accounts open this month will receive a $100 deposit into their accounts. And then in September, when we have our town hall meeting in Madison, I think it's September 22nd or 23rd.
20th.
Thank you. I got changed on me. September 20th. We're going to do a drawing for $500. So the Rehab Association of Mississippi helped us with those contributions to be able to support this event. But it's really a cool thing. So the first 20 people are going to get $100. I can't even talk now. You got me excited. I'm talking too fast. First 20 people will get a $100 deposit, and then we will do a $500 drawing in September.
As families learn about this, how many accounts have been opened, or do we know how long that's grown over the last several years? Or maybe it's just keeps growing by leaps and bounds every year?
No, I think we've got about 200 accounts open so far. So we are continually traveling the state, letting people know about it. And, we talked about the benefits, but another thing we're really pushing on these accounts is it's a great way for parents or grandparents to put money back for that young adult with a disability. So one of the things the Mississippi legislature did when they created this for us, they created a state tax deduction for contributions into a Mississippi Able account. So for a parent or a grandparent who has a child or a grandchild with a disability, not only can you create some financial stability for your young adult, but you can also take a deduction on your personal Mississippi state income tax for those contributions. So, again, it's a win-win. It's a great way for parents and grandparents to save for the future of their young adult.
And if they have questions, the town hall meeting, which is coming up in Madison September 20th, would be the place to go for that. Do we know anything else about the town meeting in terms of time, or where can we go to sign up?
It's going to be around lunchtime. I think it's 12 to 1. I'm looking at our communication director, make sure I'm telling this right. It's from 12 to 1. We're going to offer a face-to-face option and a virtual option. So if you can come face-to-face, that would be fantastic. If you can't, we'll offer a virtual option so y'all can jump on and check it out.
Check it out. Well, you have so many good things going on at Mississippi Department of Rehab. Chris, you can't keep it all.
Oh man,
going at once.
We are changing lives every day.
This is why you got so many great women that's working around you and with you to sort of help bridge all the gaps.
That's why I told you I just show up for these things. They do all the talking. They know all about this stuff.
Miss Faye, will you be at the town hall meeting talk about Project Search, or does that also be where if people want more one-on-one to ask questions about it? How can they get in contact with you or with the program?
They can call the Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation Services, 1-800, I'll give them my number, 853-5344. I will actually be in Biloxi for the board meeting for Biloxi High School to introduce Project Search with Kiesler. So we're excited about that. So hopefully Mr. Howard and we'll be able to do two. He'll be able to get to both places.
You need two places at one time. You need an airplane to sort of zoom around.
No, I don't want that.
And get around. I love we did miss out the Air Force Base piece to this. So are they? So they're not the school part; they're the employer part. What will be some of the tasks on the air? I think that's really cool.
They're actually going to be in the commissary. They're going to be in the child care. They're going to be in HR. They're going to be in the recreation. They're going to be in the hospital. Kiesler has a hospital, and so Columbus Air Force Base and Kiesler Air Force Base are just beyond excited. So we're real excited about that site this year, and we're just going to grow from there.
It sounds like Mississippi's Project Search is just rocking and rolling compared to well, we don't want to say not to compare to compared to other programs. It really feels like you guys are doing some extraordinary things. I mean, I think it's really neat to come. And then you think about Camp Shelby calling you out, and then I have friends there, and then all the all the other places. Why not have this sort of partnership or sort of connection? Chris, do you ever get tired of talking about all the good things that's going on at Department of Rehab?
No, I love coming on talking about all the programs we've got because, again, there are so many programs we offer, and everything is individualized. It's not cookie cutter. Anything we do, everyone who comes into our office is treated as an individual, and the plans we come up with in coordination with that individual are individualized. So the services are individualized as well as the employment outcome.
And there's something for everybody to learn, too, over at the website. So what's the best place to go just to sort of get to know Department of Rehab and everything you've got going on?
Yeah, mdrs.ms.gov. That's our website. Or our toll-free number is 1-800-443-1000. Ask to talk to our communications department, and we can either come out and visit with anybody, any groups or anything like that, talk about the agency or employers. You know, if there's an employer out there who is listening today and thinks, you know, man, this is pretty cool. This is something I want to do. Give us a call. You know, we'd love to sit down with you and see if Project Search is an option. Because, again, I jokingly say 82 counties, but how cool would it be to come back in a few years and say, you know, Rebecca, we did it. We hit every county in Mississippi. But to do that, we've got to have the schools and the employers who want to partner with us.
It sounds like it's snowballing, though. You started out with 1 5 years ago. You're now up to 32 counties. I feel like it's just going to keep growing from there. Right. So we look forward to just keeping in touch. And, Faye, bring back one of your interns. I'd love to.
I was just thinking that.
I was like, I'd love to meet an intern here on Good Things. So thank you for your time. Keep up the good work. And you guys stick with us. We got a few more good things for you coming up next.